Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. We're live for Arsenal against Atletico Madrid, but it's bigger than that. The Champions League is back. We've got coverage of all the games. We'll be giving you all the instant updates and conversations here on That's Football. So smash a like, get involved and get your comments in. You're very, very welcome. I've just realised I haven't got any of the stuff I actually need on the screen. What a prat. But how are we all doing? Autumnal dark nights in the UK. We love football when it's these types of occasions. So I hope you're all very, very much in the mood because I certainly am. Okay, let's get that going there as well. I think I've just sorted it in record time. Let me remove you. Get out. And you need to go as well. Get out. And that's it. I've done it. Yabba dabba do. Dabba do. Busy day for me today. I was up at Gary Neville o'clock. I was up at like 5 o'clock. Up to Manchester. Did the morning show, couple of meetings, back on the M6 for about 2:30, back home for about 4:30. Nice little bit of a meal. United stand at 7, and then here with you good people for a night of Champions League football. And yeah, look, perfect Arsenal lineup, to be honest, considering the injuries, is 1080p. Well, let's have a look at the lineups because they are flying around your screen for you. Barcelona have beaten Olympiacos 6-1, by the way. Very, very definitively big result for them. PSG playing Bayer Leverkusen tonight. Be interested to see how that goes. Bundesliga, that's the home of Bundesliga on That's Football. Dortmund are at Copenhagen. Newcastle are playing Benfica. PSV are playing Napoli. Union Saint-Gilles are playing Inter Milan, and Villarreal are playing Man City. Arsenal, obviously, Atletico Madrid. So every game we'll be keeping you updated as the goals goes in. It's a bit like a 3 o'clock game, it's a bit like a Saturday 3 o'clock stream, European style. Also, we've got the updates from the Championship. Coventry City top there. They're playing Portsmouth away. We'll keep an eye on that for you as well. But the players are in the tunnel. So without further ado, let me tell you the teams that are coming out in our featured game, which is Arsenal against Atletico Madrid. Raya Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Luis Skelly, Eze, Zubimendi and Rice, and then Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli. Playing on a Tuesday night for Arsenal obviously really helps them because although they're playing Crystal Palace at the weekend, it's a Tuesday night game, so they can go hard and they can go strong. Very good bench for them as well. Kepa, Calafiori, Hincapié, Moreno, Mosquera, Wanyeri, Setford, Norgard and White. I don't know who Setford is. I actually hoped that the what's his name? I've forgotten his name. It's completely slipped my mind. The 15-year-old. Is he not allowed to play in Europe, or has he got school tomorrow? I don't know why he's not on the bench, but I've forgotten his name anyway. Atletico Madrid are Oblak, Hanko, Lenormand, Jimenez, Llorente, Gonzalez, Koch, I always get his name wrong, Barrios, Simeone, Sorloth and Alvarez is certainly the player to watch. Conor Gallagher's on the bench, Almada is on the bench, Griezmann is on the bench, Longley is on the bench, Raspadori on the bench. Is that the Almada that I had on my career mode? Yeah. Dowman, that's his name, Max Dowman. Is that the Almada I always used to buy on my career mode? Yeah, I think it is. Dowman's got school, says Doctor Strange. Yeah, it is the same one, says Matt. Thank you very much. I've spoken about Rashford on the United stand. I really don't want to repeat myself again. Suffice to say, we're all very happy that he's doing well, and hopefully he'll stay in Barcelona. Yes, he is Argentinian, says DTM. So look, I did see a funny thing today that, watching Arsenal play Atletico Madrid is very much like painting a wall and watching it dry. I sort of get that, but Atletico Madrid aren't necessarily that team anymore. They do score quite a few goals, to be fair. And Arsenal, look, the last thing we want to do is see Arsenal score an early corner and sit back, but hopefully we'll get a few goals. Atletico Madrid are currently 4th in La Liga, 16 points. They are 8 points behind Real Madrid. 1 point off third-placed Villarreal, who are playing Man City tonight. So it's going to be interesting. The top 2 in England are playing 3rd and 4th in La Liga. So in a way, it's La Liga against the Premier League. They've conceded 10 goals this season, Atletico Madrid, which is the same as Barcelona and Villarreal. And they've scored 16 goals, which is the same as Villarreal. So, unbeaten in La Liga in their last 5 after a tricky start where they did lose a game. But they've only lost 1 game in La Liga this season. And, of course, in the Champions League so far, they lost to Liverpool, didn't they? So let's have a look at the Champions League table because, looking at the Champions League table is a long, drawn-out affair. Bayern Munich are top at the moment with 2 wins from 2 games. Real Madrid also 2 wins from 2 games. Barcelona are third, 2 wins from 3 games because they played early. PSG 2 wins from 2. Inter 2 from 2. Arsenal 2 wins from 2. So they're all top with Karabag actually. Atletico Madrid have, I believe, 1 win and 1 loss. Yes. So they won't want to lose it again. Remember, it's the top 8 that do well here. Liverpool, Frankfurt tomorrow night. I'm very excited about. Where is this bloody Arsenal game? Where is this Arsenal game? Is it? It's not on Sky, is it? Where is it? I'm saying the players are in the tunnel. I haven't got a bloody clue. I was just saying it as a figure of speech. Oh, it's on Amazon. Shit. Well, apparently it's kicked off as well. They're kicking off in here in a minute. Amazon. I'm not knocking Amazon, but I keep getting caught out with this. Better not be a bloody goal. It's the kickoff glitch. It's the kickoff glitch. Right, let me get this sorted. What do we got? 30 seconds. Well, that's not right. Your time is wrong. Your time is wrong. I know it's bloody wrong. There we go. There we go. Triple Threat just said Gyökeres has just missed a sitter. What result are you going for, Lisa? I think Arsenal will win. Like it or lump it, I think Arsenal are a very good side at the moment, aren't they? Nearly 5,000 watching already. You're absolute legends, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We did hit 1.43 million subscribers. I just haven't changed it, but I will do that while we're live now. Yeah, I look, to be honest with you, I think Alvarez is a very, very good player. And look, I'm not going to criticise Man City saying they shouldn't have got rid of him. He probably wanted to go. They've got the best striker in the world with Harry Kane, Erling Haaland. Look, Erling Haaland's one of the best strikers in the world. Where are his game minutes going to come from? But I think Alvarez will be on the move soon. So he, I don't know whether he'll be coming back to the Prem, but he's a good player. There's no two ways about that. Okay, let's change that. Bang. There we go. Yeah, share the video. Great watch along. Mark hasn't got the bloody channel right. Prattbridge, says Evan. Hey, I'm only human. I'm not AI yet. Although I think that will happen. I don't know whether you'll ever get a live AI Goldbridge. I think that'd be very difficult to do. But apparently there already is. No, there is actually a live AI Goldbridge. I've seen him already. He's an impersonator. He's more Goldbridge than me. Have you seen the one I retweeted at the weekend? Get out! Get out! Get in! He's better at me than me. It's weird. I've emailed him. He hasn't emailed me back yet. I'm like, do you fancy a job? We'll job share. The best thing will be when he does better streams than me. That's the dream, isn't it? Somebody who's actually better at being you than you. And they're not AI. And AI will never work like my brain. No, my brain doesn't work properly. It's wired weird. It just goes off on tangents. Tangerines. See? Started to think about that. And I only eat them at Christmas. Anyway, Saka put a good cross in there, but no one's on the end of it. Simeone's hair reminds me... Oh, no. It's way too early. Yeah, it's way too early. I tell you what, honestly enjoy this more than the match commentators, not a paid chatter, says Denver. I'm glad you enjoy it, mate. Get your questions in. We will be talking about some stuff during the game. We've got lots of... I'm going to be busy here because there are so many games going on and they're all good. Arsenal on the attack here. Eze. Still Eze. Good block. And it's the bar. And Rice over the top. Oh, so close. So close. Eze with a shot on the edge of the box. It deflects up, lands on the bar, and then Declan Rice follows it up. The crowd are up for this tonight at the Emirates. London on an autumn night under the lights. What gets better than that? And people said it was going to be boring. Nearly 1-0. And Declan Rice nearly making it 1-0 as well. They wouldn't have got 2 for it. One of them would have to go in. But Eze's goal would have been a bit fortuitous. But it did thud the bar. Anyway, look, there's a lot of good games tonight. Like Villarreal, Man City in Spain. Villarreal are third in the league at the moment. Inter Union Saint-Gilles is probably the most boring one. But PSV Napoli. Interested to see how Napoli bounce back after a loss at the weekend. And I can tell you that there is still no Rasmus or McTominay is back. But Rasmus isn't even on the bench again. I don't know what I don't profess to follow it enough, but I don't know what's happened to him. I presume he has an injury because he was doing quite well. Newcastle at home to Benfica. PSG are in Germany, Bundesliga. They're playing Leverkusen. Dortmund are in Sweden, playing Copenhagen. And Arsenal are playing Atletico Madrid. Well, that's the game we're watching here. So there we go. If you support Atletico, you are something, says 1080p. Thank you very much. And did you see that... Let me get the name right. Mialbi are a tiny fishing village of 1,500 people, have won the Swedish league. Now, you think of Swedish clubs, Copenhagen, Malmo. No, Copenhagen is Danish. Geography bridge. Yeah, you think of Swedish clubs like Malmo, and Malmo. Helsingborg? No. I can't think of Swedish clubs. Yeah, I've messed that whole thing up. Helsingborg do sound like a Swedish club. We should play a game. Get me to name 3 clubs, at least 3 clubs from each country. Swedish league table, that's the best thing to look at here. Mjällby, yeah, I wouldn't get any of these. Gothenburg, that's what I was thinking about. Copenhagen. There is no Helsingborg. I'm thinking of Breaking Bad. Elfsborg, Gothenburg, AIK, Malmo. Yeah, I don't know many Swedish clubs, really. But Mjällby won the league by 11 points. Small little club. PSG are 1-0 up in Leverkusen already. It's a goal from a corner, and it's Pacho. Our first goal, our first catch of the evening. And it's PSG who've scored. Millwall are beating Stoke 2-0. That'll be a cracking game. Hull are 1-0 up against Leicester. Leicester are doing shit. The teams that got relegated from the Prem last year are doing shit. Anyway, first goal in the Champions League, 1-0 to PSG against Leverkusen. Thanks for your super chats. Our goal alert's quicker than theirs. In your face, Amazon. You might have the rights, but we're quicker at goal alerts. Good play by Saka down the right-hand side. Puts a good cross in. He's put 2 good crosses in, Saka. I'd sort of be looking at Gyökeres and saying, mate, come on. Atletico Madrid on the break here. Yeah, I got sent a TikTok today of, you know, like we sometimes talk about pet hates on this channel. And it could be like people sniffing on a train. You know, getting into the wrong queue. I'll tell you what a pet hate of mine is. I thought they were doing it on purpose. I just think they were a shit driver. I was driving along the motorway today, and there was this car in front of me in a bloody, what do they call it? Tesla. And just kept going on their brakes all the time. Like, you're driving along at 60 and they kept going on their brakes and there was nothing in front of them. Just kept knocking their brakes. I was like, what are you doing? And I went past them and I thought, are they on the wind-up? And it was just somebody who looked like a really nervous driver. You know, a nervous Neris. Remember them little smart cars? You don't see them anymore, do you? Well, it can't be that smart. That wasn't going to be the joke. It just made me think about Tesla. I was trying to think of the name and then I thought, smart car. And I was like, you don't see many smart cars anymore. That's regenerative braking. It's automatic. What? What's this bollocks? It was a Tesla and it kept, the brake lights kept going off all the bloody time. It's the first time I've noticed it. Anyway, Arsenal doing quite well here. I tell you what, if you think this is a boring game, you're wrong. It's really going end to end and there's a lot of space. Atletico Madrid definitely not sitting back and parking the bus here. People pulling out in front of me is my big pet hate of mine, says Ray. Regenerative braking. What is this shit? Who's on Bundesliga this Friday, Mark? Definitely one of my new favourite teams, Union Berlin. I think they're playing Wolfsburg. Tesla was probably on self-driving mode. Happens. Well, they need to bloody stop doing that. It could have caused a bloody crash. It's really, really annoying when you're behind somebody doing that. So, you know, AI bollocks electric cars can kiss my arse. It really did annoy me. When I drove past the car, I really did stare into them like this. And then they just like looked like really nervous. No, I think that's a really bad thing. Really bad, because I was like driving behind them, and I tell you what, I had to take over them. I was like, it was jolting, like it was really unnerving, and I thought they were looking at an insurance claim, to be honest. Yeah, well, that's 1-0 to petrol self-drive cars. No, that's 1-0 to petrol manual cars. It's on Amazon, Hendo. It's a good game, this. It is opening up or not. Tesla was probably on self-driving mode. It happens, says Jide. That's rubbish. Could we get a Deitch thought on the Forest job, says Tanish. I don't really like doing the Deitch voice because it makes me cough. I'll think about it. I have got a hot drink. Cross comes into the box. Raya gets hold of it. Today's Champions League clash is full of stinkers, and yet somehow this will be the shittest of the lot. Absolute harem ball left and right. Stoke v Wimbledon vibes, says Goldio. All right. No one asked you to come. People that haven't heard from weeks ago contacting me just for tech support says I'm good with computers. I'd like a catch-up. That isn't work. You know what I did today? This is really funny. Oh, this is true. You just reminded me, right? So I got a new car, and I'm a bit of a technophobe, even though this is technology that we're doing. So I got a new car, and I actually spent the time to sync it up to my phone. So, because what I normally do, and I'll put my hands up for this, is when I'm going on a drive, I put it into Google Maps, and basically I fit it next to I just find somewhere I can put it, and I look down at it. So I've linked it up to my computer screen on the car, and obviously I'm driving home today, and hold on, Saka, good block. It's not over. Eze, good feet. This could be a goal. Oh, he's dragged it wide there. Lewis Skelly, good play, good play. So anyway, I'm driving along in my Audi, Jim White FC, crunching up cornflakes in my lap, and I'm on the way back, and I've got it all set up, and I'm like, you can even press a button to go to your Amazon Music playlists. It's great, just bang bang, and you can do it with voice control as well. So anyway, I've given it away a little bit there. So I wanted to call my agent Ross. So I was driving. Hold on, Atletico Madrid on the attack here down the right hand side. It's not a bad cross, but it's missed everybody and gone to the back post, and Arsenal will win it back. Raya's got it now. So anyway, I'm thinking, oh, technology bridge. I'm driving along the M6, and I hit the button on the steering wheel, you know, the voice activated thing, and I said, call Ross, right? And it rings, and then somebody answers, and it's not Ross, my agent. They're like, hello? And I went, is that Ross? And they went, yeah, who's this? And I thought, oh, shit, it's my old boss from like 13 years ago, who I don't even bloody like. I don't want to be talking to him, so I had to hang up. So then I had to get some fuel, so I went into the petrol station, came out, went into my phone, looked at it, and Ross, there's 3 Rosses in my phone. There's Ross, my old bloody boss, and then there's Ross, second name. It just says Ross, second name, who's my agent. So it bloody rung me old boss from 13 years ago, and he answered it. I was like, oh, God, please don't ring me back. It's not a cry for help. Absolute knobhead. Me and them. Yeah. Oh, it makes me cringe now. You know. Don't know. Does anyone get that sort of cringe thing when you do something that makes you think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that? I'll just hear him in my mind. Hello? I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. It's been 13 years. How can I make that mistake? And what worries me is I probably didn't come up as an unknown number in his phone either. So he's probably going, why is he ringing me? It feels like it's 1-0 to him. Please take me back, Ross. I hate YouTube. They bully me. Can I have my job back? It just makes me cringe now. I can just hear him going, hello? And then me going, hello, is it Ross? Yeah. Shit, that does not sound like Ross, my agent, at all. Why didn't I delete him after that? I didn't realise it was in my bloody contacts. I've got more contacts than bloody BT. I'm going to go with an Arsenal win. They've started off really well here. Goldio's here for the good vibes as always. Also, do you agree Tuesday is the worst day of the week? Closely followed by Monday, but Tuesdays are horrid. Tuesday's normally my worst day of the week, yes. Traditionally. But today's been all right. I've been so busy today, and I've been looking forward to this with you lot. So I've had a good Tuesday today, actually. Considering I was up at bloody 5 o'clock, which I do not like, but I've just had so much to do today that it's kept me busy. So I'm looking forward to doing this stream, getting in a nice hot bath, and then getting into bed and just falling asleep watching something like the Victoria Beckham documentary. And you can laugh at me if you like, but I like it. I just wait for the little cameos of David. I just love him. Anyway, we've got a goal. We've got another goal. We've got a goal. It's PSV. And Man City have scored as well. Man City are 1-0 up against Villarreal. Guess who scored? Oh, it's actually boring. It's boring now. Bore off, you robot. Put my batteries in. Score, goal. Erling Haaland. It's actually boring. I think Harry Kane has more integrity to himself as a goal scorer. Erling Haaland's just a bloody robot. Boring. Score goal. Score goal. Turn robot. Kane's better than Haaland. Oh, good keeping by Oblak there. Saka was in, but he came out and he's floored him. And Saka stayed down here. And Oblak's injured himself as well. I think there was a connection of legs. Eze's having a great game, and it's a lovely ball by Eze. What a pass by Eze that is. Get Saka in. And to be fair, Saka does get there first. But he can't lift it. Well, it's a good save by Oblak. I think Saka leaves his foot in there to try and get a penalty. Look at Saka's foot. Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's why he needs slow-mo sometimes. Could have been a FIFA penalty, that. We've got a goal at Dortmund. Dortmund have scored a goal. They're playing in Denmark, not Sweden. It's FC Copenhagen 0, Dortmund 1. Tell you what, if Bellingham scored this goal, somebody is watching some weird stuff. Because this is Bellingham is playing. Somebody said to me about 90 seconds ago, Jude's brother has scored a goal. No, so it's fine. It's Anicha who scored the goal, so that's fine. I thought there was some weird shit going on there, but yeah. Yeah, Haaland the robot scored. Birmingham City are winning 1-0 against Bristol, and Coventry City are winning 1-0 at Portsmouth. They are on fire. Absolutely on fire. I don't know what Frank Lampard's doing there, but bottle it. He's not bottling it. I mean, like, bottle whatever he's feeding them. They're doing great stuff. Great stuff. Please do share the video, everyone. We're nearly at 9,000 watching, on the road to 10K. UCL mornings with Goldbridge. Come on, Atleti, says Lachlan. Mornings? Where are you, mate? You must be, I would say, Australia. I once messaged my girlfriend. I've told a story about a message. Well, there's two. I've done it a lot. I've done it a lot. One was horrific. Again, I don't want to tell these stories because they give me the ick. I mean, ringing your old boss and going, "Hello, is that Ross? Idiot." I'm disappointed with myself. It's such an L. But I've done... anyway, CF26 says, I once messaged my girlfriend saying, hi, baby. She didn't reply, and I asked her why. She said, I never got the message. I texted my mum instead. I don't think people understand how that happens. On one of my older phones, it used to happen on the regular, and nobody really understood how I did it. But basically, I think, you know when a message comes up on your phone, and you read it on preview, and then you go to reply, but it goes to the wrong... I don't know. I've done it a couple of times anyway. There was one where... Oh, this was... I don't know. I don't think I should tell it because you'll think bad of me. Nick P says, I love that you have an agent, Mark. Does he set up corporate gigs for you? Travel lodge, meetups, sponsored by Allied Carpets. Yeah, that sort of stuff, Nick, really. These Manscaped deals don't get done by me ringing round. Mr. Durag says, regenerative braking is basically driving with one pedal. When you let go of the pedal, it will start braking and the energy will go to the battery. Wow, that's what was happening. Don't get stuck behind one of these wallies. it's really unnerving. And I'm like basically Lewis Hamilton. You know, I'm a very good driver, but even I was like, what's going on? You know, you're on a motorway and one of these idiots are in front of you and they're taking their foot off the pedal and it's making the car brake and it's going like that all the time. Red light, red. That's not you. You're doing it wrong. You're driving wrong. You can't have your brake lights coming on like that. Also, Helsingborg is a Swedish team. Yeah, that's the one I said. But they don't play in the highest league anymore. Thank you, Simo. I was right. Evan Whelan says, I use a walking aid. People looking at me like I'm a bloody transformer ticks me off. Yeah, I'm here for you, bro. People that I haven't heard, I've done that one from Sam. These are pet hates, by the way. Oh, someone's saying, tell us the story. So basically, I'm in the airport. I've told the story before, but, you know, it was probably a couple of years ago. There's another one as well. Basically, it wasn't Ross. That would make it even worse. I was in the office and my boss walked in and said, can I have a word? And I said, yeah. What have I done wrong? Because it normally something. He said, I've had a message from you. I'm hoping it wasn't for me, but I just need to make you know because the person who you were sending it to didn't get it. And if it is for me, we need to have a talk. Oh! What's Raya doing there? Why didn't he dive on it? I thought he was going to go in. So it's a bad clearance. And the Atletico, it's a bad clearance by Raya. No, he gets into trouble. Quick throw in. He could have dived on that, Raya. You know, if that had gone in, he actually could have saved that. Fucking hell, it's close. It was close. I'll tell you the stories at half time. That's the best thing to do because it's 25 minutes gone here. That wasn't the message. Oh. I'll quickly finish that one off. So yeah, basically he calls me into the office. He said, I've had a message from you. I don't think it's for me. You need, you know, and the person you sent it to didn't get it. And if it was for me, we've got a problem. I said, what was the message? He said, well, here, have a look at it. I don't want to read it out. And I looked at it on his phone and it said, yeah, me too. Can't wait to get you home tonight. I'm really in the mood. And I said, well, it's definitely not for you. Can I go and get my phone? And I went and got my phone and the missus had sent me a message and I thought I'd replied to her. And that was it. But I don't know. It definitely can't be just me that happens to. Like, for some reason, it replies to the wrong person. And I don't know why. It definitely wasn't for him. And it definitely wasn't Ross, my old boss from 13 years ago. Don't make me feel sick. Timber's just had a shot straight at the keeper. So, I think Leverkusen had scored, but it's not a goal. Man City are 1-0 up. PSG are 1-0 up in Leverkusen and Dortmund are 1-0 up against Copenhagen. Birmingham 1-0 up against Preston. Coventry 1-0 up against Portsmouth. Millwall 2-0 up against Stoke. Hull 2-0 up against Leicester now. What's going on with Leicester? Didn't they sack Van Nistelrooy already? That is crazy. Where are Leicester in the league? You know, if you like support Coventry, how would you watch that game against Plymouth? Because it's 2025, there must be a way of watching it, even though it's not on the telly. To be fair, Leicester are only 7th. Millwall are 3rd. Hull are 5th. Stoke are 4th. It's 3rd against 4th, Millwall Stoke. Bloody hell. Sky Plus, you can watch all the games. All the games. He can watch every championship game. They're on the attack here with Alvarez. Done well. Good defending. He's still got it. Done very well. Go on, shoot. Why didn't you shoot, coward? That's not his name. That's not my name. That's not my name. Oh, Ray is there for that. When are you going to do a Man City watch along? Look, I actually get on with a lot of Man City fans. I know a lot of Man City fans, and I get on with them okay. And I can have a lot of banter with them. But there's something about Man City that I just really find, and I'm very open about it. I'm very bitter against Man City. They really, and if you're a Man City fan, just know you really wind me up. And I'm honest about it. I'm very good at hiding things that bother me. But Man City, they're my kryptonite. Like, I cannot help it. There's just something about them that... Liverpool don't irritate me as much as Man City. Once my friend asked out a girl and got called Twinkie, he stayed in his room for a week. I don't get it, Ryan. Commentary game is on Sky Sports Plus. Thank you very much. Gyökeres has just gone down in the box. Referee says play on. Galdot scored for Hull. I remember him from a TUS. It must be the night of ex-TUSFC players. Almeida's on the bench for Atletico. Galdot scoring for Hull. Timber's cross is delightful. Oh, I tell you what. Gyökeres must be fuming. That cross from Timber was so good. And if it had landed on Gyökeres' head, it would be the easiest header in the world. Good defending. Why is the camera on the ref? Corner. Robert says Agadoo. Not done that for a while. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. 9,200 watching. Please share the video. Thanks everyone tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. They're not looking at the penalty, I don't think. Well, maybe they were looking at the penalty. It's been a long delay. Corner for Arsenal, though. Some might say that it's a bit like a penalty. McTominay has scored for Napoli. They're 1-0 up against PSV. He's back. Lord McTominay is back. Yeah, Barcelona pumped Olympiacos. They did have a man sent off, but that didn't happen. Well, it happened in the 57th minute, actually. So, at that point, it was only 2-0. So, they scored 4 goals against 10 men. Olympiacos. Southampton have scored against Bristol. We've got a goal in the Newcastle game. Newcastle at home to Benfica. Marinho. He's already been to Stamford Bridge and lost. And he's losing at home, away, sorry, to Newcastle. Eddie Howe's been under a little bit of pressure. Not the best start in the Premier League. But in the Champions League, they're doing all right. And this is, well, we want English clubs to do well in Europe because then we get 5th place again. Because Man United aren't getting 4th. So, Anthony Gordon with the goal. Just having a look how... Well, Newcastle lost to Barca. But they won the next game, didn't they? So Benfica have lost all 3. Mourinho won't like that. Did I get to see Woodstock live, says Matthew? No. Good ball into the channel for Gyökeres. You're not going to get a foul for that. He is going to get a foul for that. Yellow card as well. I didn't think it looked like a foul. I'd have to see it again. Knocks it past him. I suppose he does block him off, to be fair. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. It's definitely a foul. Bayer Leverkusen have had a red card, apparently. Copenhagen have equalised against Dortmund. And Leverkusen have had a man sent off against PSG. It's a yellow card that's been upgraded to a red for Robert Andrich. He's got to go. That's the update. So looking like a good win for PSG there. Grimaldo missed a penalty for Leverkusen as well, which is very surprising. He's got a lovely left foot. PSV have just equalised against Napoli as well. They're coming back. Copenhagen 1-1 against Dortmund now. And PSV 1-1 against Napoli now. But this is a good free kick position for Barcelona. For Arsenal. Getting too excited. Goals are going in. Right, let's see what happens here with Saka. He's going for Goldbridge dead. No. No, Gary. He's just sleeping. Saka plays it short. I don't know what that was from Zubamendi, but it wasn't very good. Raya's way out of his goal to clear it. The number 8 for Athletic looks world class, says Raphael. Who is the number 8? I'm never good at shirt numbers. Barrios. Pablo Barrios. Oh, Salah! Saka! Martinelli! Offside. Why do I keep calling Saka Salah? Well, Saka's been putting in a few good crosses. But it looks like Martinelli was offside. Barrios, number 8, is Spanish. Yeah, he is offside, Martinelli. Good call. He got it right. Leverkusen have got a penalty again. What's going on in the Leverkusen PSG game? So they're 1-0 down to PSG, Pacho. They get a penalty in the 25th minute. Grimaldo misses it. Then they've got a red card in the 32nd minute. And now they've got another penalty. And PSG have had a man sent off. Well, mate, I never could have called this, but the best game of the night is PSG Leverkusen. 1-0 PSG. Penalty missed by Leverkusen. Red card Leverkusen. Penalty Leverkusen. Red card PSG. What a half. Told you this was going to be a good watch along. There's a lot of red cards tonight. Well, there's 2. Out of curiosity, says K-Bol, how prestigious would you say the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup was, or what that would be the equivalent in today's game? Cheers for the streams. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate, and thank you very much for your question. Europe in the olden days, the Cup Winners' Cup was quite prestigious because it was everybody who played in it had won the domestic cup. So it was FA Cup winners, Spanish Cup winners. So it was very distinctive. The equivalent of it today doesn't actually exist because European Cup used to be for the league winners. Cup Winners' Cup was for the cup winners. And UEFA Cup, I think, was... I don't know how you qualified for the UEFA Cup, actually. I don't know whether it was like second in the league or whatever, but... yeah, so yeah, it was. You couldn't say the Cup Winners' Cup was the equivalent to the Conference League because it definitely wasn't. Like Conference League is for, well, 7th place, isn't it now? So good cross by Alvarez, headed away. So what, for a 0-0, this has been quite a good game, the Arsenal game. There's more going on. There's more going on in Europe. Leverkusen have equalised, and it was Garcia who took the penalty after Grimaldo missing the first. So they changed penalty taker and it's 1-1 there and they're both down to 10 men. Bristol have equalised against Southampton as well. Also, we've got another goal at PSV. They're now 2-1 up against Napoli from 1-0 down. Own goal to make it 1-1 and then Sabari's made it 2-1. Napoli going through a bit of a bad stage at the moment. They're a bit like an Italian Liverpool. You know, brilliant last season, but they've had some couple of bad results. It's all good. Leverkusen, PSG. I tell you what, to be fair, I know we big the Bundesliga up here. Oh, I've got something to show you actually. Look at what I got sent. And it's signed. Look at all the shirt signs. It's a signed Dortmund shirt. You should do that as a giveaway, Mark. Piss off. I'll keep the good stuff for me. I only give away the stuff I don't want. Anyway, I'm going to play... I can't... What? Well, they're not going to win the... They might win the Champions League. We've got a goal coming in for Inter. I might give this away. Look like Jurgen Klopp. I need to take that off. City 2-0. I don't look too bad actually, that one. Caps don't normally look that good on me, but that actually looks all right. Take my glasses off. Doué makes it do. Do. The Dortmund stand. Hey, I did say last week, send me stuff and I will basically be your fan. So they sent me a signed shirt, Dortmund, and a cap. Over to you, Munich, Frankfurt, Hoffenheim, Union Berlin. Mate, there's so much going on tonight. It's hard to keep up. PSG are 2-1 up. What a half. That game, I mean, look, it's a bit like Palace Bournemouth at the weekend. Sometimes there are games that you've got no intention of doing a watch along for and you sort of go, I wish I'd done that. I mean, this game's been good, but it's nice to have the backdrop of lots of other stuff going on. And they're 2-1 up. PSG at the moment. Hi Mark, my son was born Saturday morning, perfect weekend with the United result. That's lovely, World Padlock. You'll always be able to say to him on the weekend you were born, Man United beat Liverpool. Just in case he thinks he might be a Liverpool fan, you'd just say no. Ryan says, do you see yourself working with Will again in the future? You guys had great chemistry together. We get on well, me and Will. I've not seen him for a while. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up with him for a drink over Christmas because he's doing a lot with Birmingham, which is not far away from me. But yeah, it's probably, I mean, I enjoyed doing the podcast, and it's one of those rare occasions where you stop doing something on good terms. We all parted ways in a really positive way. And it was the right thing to do. Like, it was definitely the right thing to do. So, and he's doing loads of stuff with Burt Blues now. And Will works on away days, I think, with Ellis. So, yeah, it just shows you can part in positive ways. Another free kick for Atletico Madrid. Declan Rice can't believe it. Did look like a foul to me, Declan. That's football's been taken over by Jurgen Klopp. Mark, whatever happened to the legend Salah Ahmed? Says Tom McBride. Again, you've lost me. It's now, I mean, the game of the night, oh my God, I can't even tell the story now. So 1-0 to PSG. Then Leverkusen get a penalty and miss it. Then Leverkusen get a man sent off. Then PSG concede a penalty and get a man sent off. Then PSG score the penalty, 1-1. Then 2-1 PSG. Now 3-1 PSG. Kvaratskhelia. So PSG 10 against 10. At the moment, I guarantee you Leverkusen will score next. I guarantee you it. Pat says, if you won the League Cup, you got entry to the UEFA Cup. Back in the early 70s, the two-legged final was between Spurs and Wolves. I think the team that finished second and third also played UEFA as well, says Pat. So the Cup Winners' Cup, I would say, was more prestigious than the UEFA Cup because the Cup Winners' Cup was the FA Cup winner. Why did Goldbridge Saves Football stop, Mark? Bandwidth, really. It was taking up a lot of time doing it. We also had to move out of where the Goldbridge Arms was. So, yeah. Did you leave on good terms with Levin, says Mitesh. Yeah, a long time ago. I've not spoken to Levin for a while, but he's another really good lad. Long throw in by Declan Rice. I heard something today. This is quite interesting for this community because it's just about to be half time. I heard something today that, now let me think if I'm right with this. We've seen double the amount of long throws into the box this season compared to last season by this time. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? That's a great cross! And Martinelli just doesn't know what he's doing there. Should get on the end of that. I bet that was that Timber again. No. I think it was Zubamendi, but yeah, you've got to do better. I mean, it doesn't even hits his bloody shoulder. Half time, anyway. Yeah, look, we're here to talk about football. I very humbly spoke about the Michael Oliver mistake on Sunday, which was shocking, and the fact that Dermot Gallagher actually had the balls to say he wasn't looking at it when it happened, and then you watch it back and he was. But yeah, this stat is apparently true that there are compared to this time last season, there's been double the amount of long throw-ins into the box. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not. To me, I'm going to call it out. You know, in fairness to Pep, we should start a new section. In fairness to Pep, I found his football quite boring, passing out from the back, boring. But he has evolved himself. But I didn't want it to evolve to everybody on one side of the pitch for like a rugby kick from a kickoff or long throws into this. We're playing bloody rugby. It's like a line out. The throw-in's like a bloody line out and the kickoff is like into the corner for possession. Is it football or is it fucking rugby? What are we doing in the Premier League this season? Why is everybody... Delo comes from right back to the other side of the pitch to throw long throw-ins into the box. What's happened to the Premier League? What are we doing? What are we doing, lads? This was something Stoke got the piss took out of them 12 years ago with bloody Rory Delap. Why are all the big clubs throwing bloody long balls into the box? It's not football. Wake up. Stop doing it. Fucking, I grew up on this with Wimbledon. The crazy gang. Stop it. I'll tell you what, PSG, somebody needs to tell them it's 10 against 10. Because it's 4-1. Doué's got a hat-trick. 4-1 at half-time. 10 against 10. PSG in Leverkusen. 4-1 at half-time. What a half. What a half of football. Absolutely fantastic. PSG looking good. And I think PSG do play Bayern Munich next. That game is a game I want to watch. That game is a game I really, really want to watch because I think those two are the hot teams in Europe at the moment. And I'm sure they play each other next. Yeah, PSG, Bayern Munich in Paris in 2 weeks at 8 o'clock. And Liverpool, Real Madrid. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to double screen that. Liverpool, Real Madrid and PSG, Bayern Munich 2 weeks tonight. That is going to be a hell of a night. A hell of a night. So the half times are Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. We've got... Let me just sort the timer out. Let me get that off. Copenhagen 1, Dortmund 1, Leverkusen 1, PSG 4, Newcastle 1, Benfica 0, PSV 2, Napoli 1, Union Saint-Gilles 0, Inter 2, and Villarreal 0, Man City 2. Second goal scored by Bernardo Silva. That's not a terrible result for Man City, considering Villarreal are third in La Liga. So they're going well again. Man City, Erling Haaland, absolute machine at the moment. No, I can't stand long throw football. Yeah, the game's been dubbed Harrenball on social media, says Mr. Wars. Anyone heard from Loz McKenna after Sunday? I haven't heard from Loz for a while, actually. Who's your most underrated player of all time? It's not something I sit and think about, Parthy. If you chuck some names at me, I would tell you whether they were underrated. But I think there's a lot of players. Michael Carrick always comes to my mind. Voltemeda versus Sesko poll, says Vishesh. Well, I'll do it for you. I mean, I don't think there's I think it's too early to be definitive, but it's basically just a popularity contest, isn't it? At what point in the season do you think Arsenal are going to bottle the league this season? Well, Ashley, everybody expects that to happen, don't they? Look, when Liverpool had won their first 5 games in a row, everyone was saying when they start playing well, it's over for everybody else. They haven't started playing well, and they've lost their last 3 Premier League games in a row. So things can turn around very, very quickly. But look, when you look at Arsenal's next 3 games, Palace at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away. I'd be surprised if they win all 3 of those. But in a way, if they do, then they should be opening up a gap at the top. And that's what they need to do after all these years of being second. But I'd be worried about Man City at the moment. I genuinely didn't think Man City were going to be ready for a title race this soon. But Haaland's playing so well, and they're getting their mojo back, aren't they? I mean, Pep looked so tired last year, but yeah, they look like they are the pretenders to the throne at the moment. Tom McBride says, would you rather watch 6-1 to City against United or Jaws 3? I'd watch Jaws 3. It's a bloody comedy, that, mate. The shark's not even a bloody shark, is it? Haaland and Donnarumma, 2 best at each end, says Jack. And don't sleep on United making a title push, says Mike. I think I will go to sleep on that one, actually. Yeah, I'm not confident on that. I forgot to tell you the second story. I did tell you at half time. So somebody was telling a story about how their mate accidentally sent a message to somebody they shouldn't have sent it to. We've all done it. I don't understand why it happens, but it has happened to me a few times. There was one time when I was basically in a quite serious relationship with a very nice girl, but it was naturally coming towards its conclusion. And she was going on a holiday with her mum just to get a, break from me. To be honest, not for any bad reason. We were just, we weren't getting on. I mean, I was about 21. Like, it wasn't deep. Like, she wasn't, we didn't have money problems, or she wasn't pregnant or anything like that. But anyway, I dropped her off at the airport, and literally, she'd just got onto the plane with her mum, and I'm in a taxi back, and I get on my phone to one of the lads, and I said, just dropped her off at the airport. Let's get on it tonight. Lads on something vulgar. Sent it. Phone pings. Think you've sent it to the wrong person. Yeah, you do the maths. She thinks I did it on purpose because I'm a coward and I didn't wanted to give her a reason, but I didn't do it on purpose. I don't know what went wrong, but yeah. City are our only threat at the moment, says 1080p, who is an Arsenal fan. Thank you very much for that. I did say to you earlier, actually, just to throw it out there as well while it's half time. I got sent a TikTok today of somebody's top 5 pet hates, and I thought I've got to share this because I don't necessarily agree with some of them. One of them was dessert shops, places where you go and get a pudding. So they were going off on that, like it's one of their pet hates that there's shops where people go and buy dessert, which I sort of understand why you'd be quite irritated by it, but I do like desserts. I've got a sweet tooth. Another one was rugby. No, it was rugby and Formula One. They were both together. So basically saying that people who like Formula One are 5'5" and geeks, and rugby players are weird because they basically drink piss out of each other's mouth. What was the other? There was something about fitness people who post stuff on Instagram, and that's 3. What was small talk was another one. Small talk. When you just have small talk with people. That was one. I can't remember what the other one was. And I think it was number 1 as well. It'll come back to me in a minute. Yeah, I didn't think they were necessarily the best pet hates, really. But, yeah. James says, Formula One fans are the most thick people I know. I don't mind Formula One, so I just don't think you I just don't think you should stereotype. I've never been into rugby, but I don't know. Newcastle really lucky to get Tonali and Voltemeda, says Savage. A lot of people say small talk, but if you move the conversation to them, they don't shut the fuck up, says Marcus. Mark, La Liga have cancelled the game in the USA, says Shane Taylor. That's big news. It was meant to be in Miami, wasn't it? Yes, they have. It's literally just happened. So this is big news. La Liga has called off plans to hold a regular season game between Villarreal and Barcelona in Miami, the league announced on Tuesday. Tickets for the match, which were due to be played, had been set to go on sale this week. They announced that the sale of those tickets would be delayed. The move had faced opposition from La Liga players who staged a protest last weekend, as well as fan groups and Real Madrid, who had called on FIFA, UEFA and Spain Sports Minister to block the plans. Italy is still planning to do one in Perth in Australia. Madrid's Courtois was the latest player to voice his opposition, saying totally affects the integrity of the competition. Frankie de Jong had already said it was not good for the players, citing fatigue from travel and concerns around fairness. And last weekend, players paused for 15 seconds at the start of each La Liga game in protest at what Players' Union said was a lack of transparency, dialogue and coherence. I've got to say, that's a win. That's a win for football, that is. Because once that door opens, as we said on our video, it's very hard to shut. But you do wonder if it was Real Madrid doing it, whether they'd be protesting about it. So, look, I think that's really good. I'm absolutely convinced at some point we're going to see this happen, but the longer the door can be shut on it, the better. But I do think it will happen at some point. Who's a bigger letdown, Salah or Saville, says 1080p. Thank you very much. I think Mo Salah's a really interesting topic, actually, just while we're waiting for the game to restart. I genuinely do think Mo Salah's a really interesting topic. Like, as a United fan, I never want to big up Liverpool players, but I think he's been massively underappreciated on the world stage for many years. I mean, I've said many a time, the goals and everything that he puts in, he probably should have done better in the Ballon d'Or over the years. But I've seen Liverpool play a few times this season, and he's way off it. And I've seen many people write off Salah for years, unfairly. But he's way off it this season. He's way off it this season. I mean, Dalot was shit for United at the weekend, but Salah was actually worse. So, yeah, I don't know. Look, at some point, Wayne Rooney is one of the greatest players I've ever seen play the game. In his last 18 months at United, I was pulling my hair out. I was like, I don't want to be saying this about a legend, but he's got to go. You know, he's fell off. So it can just happen. And I think people struggle with that. People struggle with the fact that great players, you can say they're playing shit. It could be that. It could be that simple. I don't think it will be. I think that, you know, we might be wishing for something that's not actually happened. But he's not playing well at the moment. So, you know, that's certainly something to keep an eye on. For sure. Voltemada has beaten Sesko by 55% to 45%. I'm very happy with Sesko at Man United, considering we missed out on a lot of targets. Yeah, very happy. Coventry are 2-0 up against Portsmouth now. They are absolutely... If you don't know the story of Coventry City, actually, they're quite close to me, Coventry. Only about half an hour down the road. But they were my team, weren't they, last year when we were doing the podcast. But if you don't know the story about Coventry City, Mark Robbins did a great job there for years and years. They sacked him to bring Frank Lampard in, which a lot of people, even Coventry fans, thought was an absolute disgrace. To be fair, Lampard's done a very good job. 7 wins, 4 draws. They're top. They've not lost any games. They've scored 31 goals. Considering Middlesbrough are second with 14 goals, they've scored more than double any other club in the league, apart from Bristol, who've scored 17. They've got 31. They've only conceded 7. And they are running away with it at the moment. They're 8 points clear from not being in the playoffs, and they are 4 points clear at the top at the moment, albeit Middlesbrough play tomorrow. So they're doing absolutely brilliant. We're about to start the second half here. It's a long half, isn't it? A long half time. It's nearly 9:05, ref. There we go. Yeah, they're doing very, very well. Very, very well indeed. Just on the Championship, if you're interested, Blackburn 1, Sheffield United 1, Derby 1, Norwich 0, Hull 2, Leicester 0. Ipswich are losing to Charlton. I mean, I'll talk about Charlton in a minute. Millwall 2, Stoke 0, Portsmouth 0, Coventry 2, as I said, Preston 0, Birmingham City 1, and it's half-time between Bristol and Southampton where it's 1-1. Atletico Madrid are in the box here with Alvarez. Arsenal will clear that away. And yeah, we're all just kicking off in the Champions League. It's interesting as well because when we did the podcast, we had to pick a team from each league to support as part of the Goldbridge Saves Football podcast. So Coventry were my Championship side and Charlton were my League One side. Obviously, Charlton got promoted because they're now in the same league. But Charlton are 5th. The least glamorous club to get promoted because they came up with Wrexham and Birmingham, who are both in the bottom half, and Charlton are 5th. So Charlton are doing absolute scenes at the moment, and they're beating Ipswich at Ipswich, who were in the Premier League and are now mid-table. None of the newly promoted teams are doing that well. Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester are all pretty much mid-table. They're all mid. Good play down the right-hand side by Timber. Oh, my God, he's the best right-back in the Premier League at the moment. It goes for a corner. I wasn't doing that sarcastically, but I really do think he is the best right-back in the Premier League at the moment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you're new. That's football. It's the place to be. Everybody's welcome, but Timber did brilliantly there. He's so good. Anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal, which can be like a penalty. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. I've seen a couple come in. I will read them in a minute. I'm just waiting for it to... waiting for a gap in the play. Reece James is playing golf. No, Timber's better than Reece James at the moment. I like Reece James. I've always rated Reece James, but Timber is fantastic at the moment. Tom McBride says, I'm glad they're doing so well. I went to the FA Cup semi-final and met a lot of Coventry fans who were a pleasure to speak to. Go on, lads. United were so lucky in that game. I mean, fucking hell. That offside that would have got them through. We were lucky. Mitesh says, Man United should be Cambridge / Oxford of football, but we act like Manchester Met, allowing players of level to join and stay even if they fail. You get kicked out if you fail a year at Oxbridge, says Mitesh. Educational. Ross McRae Magician says, Penguin or club, both are no longer allowed to be classed as chocolate. Look it up. Overrated biscuit in a wrapper is the Red Rockies. They are boring. What do you mean the Penguin or the club can't be a chocolate anymore? Oh, what a shot! It's the bar, Atletico Madrid. Well, Arsenal are not comfortable here. Alvarez. Look at this. He's got a lovely right foot. Mate, that would have been a worldie. Reminds me of Rooney at Goodison Park against Seaman. Very similar. But this one hits the bar. Yeah, Reyes beat there. That is a great shot. The Red Rocky chocolate biscuit. Oh, I know what you're on about, yeah. So Penguin and Club chocolate bars can no longer be called chocolate. They are both now described as chocolate flavour because the amount of cocoa they contain has been reduced after the owners had to find cheaper alternatives to the main ingredients in chocolate. The UK sources cocoa beans from West Africa, where climate change has led to severe droughts and poor harvests in cocoa-producing countries. So basically, they're synthetic chocolate, aren't they? Tell you what I used to like. Trio. Trio. I'm sorry, that's one of those things that I can categorically say was better when I was a kid. Penguin, Club, Trio. Chocolate was better when I was a kid. You know, like Christmas chocolates, like Quality Street and Celebrations and Heroes. They taste like shit these days. I'm not buying any this year. I bought a tin of Quality Street. I tell you this, I bought a tin of Quality Street last year. When I was a kid, I used to open the tin and sniff it. It used to be shiny plastic wrappers, and the smell was Christmas. Paper wrappers and shit chocolate now. 3-0 to Charlton, says Ed. Some things in the modern day, I personally, I was under the impression that in the year 2025, things would be better than things in 1988. They're not. Some things aren't. It's woke nonsense, says Reagan. We have got goals coming in here. Charlton are 3-0 up against Ipswich. McKenna could get the sack. Leverkusen are now 5-1 down to PSG. Even though it's 10 against 10, Mendes has just made it 5. Just goes to show you, doesn't it? PSG have benefited more from both people having a man sent off. Inter are 3-0 up as well against Union Saint-Gilles. And, yeah, they're the goals of the second half. Matthew Lund says, whatever happened to barbecue rib walkers? Also, I'm sure chocolate boxes are getting smaller and more expensive. Why is Rasmus not playing for Napoli? He didn't play at the weekend, Pan, either. I don't know. I don't know whether it's like must be an injury, isn't it? I wouldn't say the Arsenal game's boring. I think Atletico Madrid are giving him a good game. Mark Goldbridge selects some... I've never been asked this, Chris, and this is my kind of question. I'll come back to it in a moment. Yeah, Arsenal got to be a little bit careful here because Madrid are giving it a good go at the moment. So I've just been given a super chat here. Big shout out to Chris. He says, Mark Goldbridge selection box, 5 chocolate bars. What's in it? I would say... Sorry, just looking at Gyökeres here. Lovely feet by Zubamendi. Good save by the keeper. He was unlucky there, Gyökeres. Gets his toe on it, but can't really do much more. Wouldn't call it a big miss. Sorry, I will answer your question. So, who's making it into my top 5 chocolate bars? Well, some of them don't exist anymore. I think I would put a Twix in there. I'd definitely put a Twix in there. Topic doesn't exist anymore, and that's one of my. It just pisses me off that they don't make Topics anymore. I'd definitely put a Twix in. I like Snickers. Snickers, not Knickers. Not putting a pair of Knickers in a selection box. I'm not a bloody weirdo. Snickers, Twix. I am going to put a bag of Maltesers in there. I think you've got to put a bag of Maltesers in there. So I've got 3 in. I do like the idea of a double-decker. And what about a Whisper Gold? No! I've got to put a Ripple in. I've got to put a Ripple in. Well, mate, if I can't have a bag of Maltesers, I'll put a Galaxy. Or what about that, then? What about that? Goal! Arsenal! Galaxy Ripple in my selection box, and the net ripples for that man, Gabriel. Dreams can come true. It's 1-0 to Arsenal against Atletico Madrid, and guess what? It comes from a set piece. But Arsenal lead 1-0, and look, it's a lovely cross. People get very critical about it, but like, it's not like every other team don't know about it. Declan Rice curls it in. I don't know what that defender's doing. It's almost like he ducks out the way. Well, he gets pushed off. He basically just gets armed off. That's crap defending. It's strong by Gabriel, but it's crap defending. You can't just... It's not even a push. Set piece FC. Stoke doing their thing, says Jerry. Sir Jack says, have you seen last week's Serie A negative goal record? No, I don't know what that's all about. No one can move more like the Red Tribe do, says Danny. Thank you very much. Cadbury's isn't what it used to be. They lost their royal warrant. Mate, most chocolate in the UK tastes like shit these days. Lovely ball! Oh, why didn't you hit that first time, you prat? Atletico Madrid. Giuliano. Got to hit it first time, mate, at this level. It's a lovely slide rule pass. You've got to hit them first time. Can't do that. Anyway, to answer the question about my dream selection box, what was it I said? I forgot what I said now. I forgot my first one. So, Whisper Gold, Ripple, Snickers, I've forgotten 2 now. Twix, Whisper Gold, Snickers, Twix, Ripple, and no, Maltesers I'm binning off. There was a second. It was Twix, Snickers, Ripple, Whisper Gold, and there was another one. It wasn't double decker. Maybe it was Topic. Yeah. Which they don't do anymore. Oh, Boost! What about a Boost bar? Get that in. If I can't have things that don't exist anymore. I mean, chocolate bars that don't exist anymore. Topic, Drifter. They were lovely. Yeah, I'd put the Boost bar in there. I often, if I'm at a service station, I often get myself a Boost and then convince myself it's healthy. Boost bars are lovely. They remind me of Star Bar. I mean, that's 3 chocolate bars there that they never should have discontinued. Star Bars, Topic Bars, and Drifters. Apparently you can still get a Star Bar. Probably tastes like shit. Drifters were lovely. I used to love them. Like a Twix, but chewy. I can't believe they stopped doing topic bars. I just can't believe it. Discontinued in August 21. Disgusting. Lots of subs coming on for Atletico Madrid. Let me just give you a wind-up. What's your favourite pastry? I love cinnamon rolls, says Dan. Five-a-side team made of pints, says Josh. I'll read some out, but I'm not a snob when I haven't had a pint of lager in about 4 months. I haven't had a lager in ages. Like, I just haven't had lager in so long. I was ill for about 3 weeks, and I just didn't want to drink anything apart from water. And I'm definitely into the red wine season at the moment. Have you seen Rashford's goals? Says Jamie. Yeah. I'm very pleased for him, and I know I genuinely am. I want him to go to Barcelona. Oh, good header by Atletico Madrid there. So, updates. We've got a goal coming in from Dortmund. They were 1-1 against Copenhagen, but Dortmund have scored. I'll tell you the scorer. It's like an earring. I don't know the score yet. Leverkusen have got a goal back. It's 2-5 now. And Garcia's got his second goal. Penalty for Dortmund, 2-1. Newcastle still 1-0 up against Benfica. PSV are 3-1 up against Napoli now. Napoli are just like Liverpool. It's all going wrong. But a penalty for Dortmund. I don't know whether they've actually got a penalty as well. Yeah, no, the penalty was scored by Benzabeni. And it's 2-1 Dortmund. There we go. This cap actually looks quite good. I don't normally look good in caps, but this looks all right. Just tuned in. How's the Harrenball derby going, Mark? Says Neil. It hasn't actually been that bad, to be fair. Goldbridge. I like this cap. I'm going to wear it more. I actually do like it. I do like caps. I just don't normally look that good in them. I'm like you two on tour. I've got the wrong head for caps. I'm going to take it off now. I've got too good a hair to wear a cap. 2-0. It's 2-0. It's Martinelli. And I suppose that's the difference. This is the problem people have got with Arsenal these days. They're getting the job done. They're getting the job done. Atletico Madrid, you think back to that chance at 0-0 that what would have been a worldie for Alvarez. And the second goal goes in. The killer goal goes in for Arsenal here from Martinelli. I'm waiting to see it. I didn't see it. Good goal, says Savage. Not seen it yet. It's a good team goal. Lewis Skelly drives forward. Into Martinelli. Yeah, good finish. It's a good... I mean, this is the thing about Arsenal. That they're winning And they're playing well. And they're not conceding goals. I said before the start of the season, Arsenal for the league. And I got laughed at by a lot of people. But a lot of people are now saying Arsenal for the league. And it's a bit annoying when you say it when nobody's really saying it. And then people are trying to claim it. But it's life. But, yeah. I think they look very, very strong. I mean, you think about the players they've still got missing. Havertz, Odegaard and Madueke. They've got a good mix of young players coming through. They don't concede goals. They're just very efficient, aren't they? They're a very efficient team. Skelly ran like a god, says 1080p. Just tuned in, done that one from Neil. Have to put a Karamak in there. Oh, do they still make Karamaks? I bet they don't make them. Bet they don't make them either. They don't make Karamak. Yeah. I mean, it's a sad world because the top 5 bars that have been discontinued have to be Topic, Karamak, Drifter. Forgotten other ones, but yeah. Anyway, Arsenal looking good for the win. Dortmund are winning against Copenhagen. Still 5-2 to PSG against Leverkusen. Newcastle still 1-0 up. PSV are beating Napoli 3-1. Inter are 3-0 up against Union St. Gilles. And Man City still 2-0 up against... and it's Gyökeres! 3-0 now. Arsenal going through the gears. It's been a long time coming, the Gyökeres goal. And look at all the players going over to him. All the players going over to him. That's nice to see. Team unity. I like Gyökeres. You know, I think I wouldn't say I'm player FC. I don't do that, but I've always liked Gyökeres. And if anyone's going to win the league, I want Arsenal to win it. If it's not going to be United, I would want Arsenal to win it over Liverpool or Man City because no one else is going to win it. I don't know whether he'll get that goal. I don't know. It could go down as an own goal. I think I'm with you, JTT. That could go down as an own goal. Who knows? Arsenal scoring like Thanos here. Inevitable. You want to sit back? Meet Big Gabby. You want to open up? Meet Martinelli. An answer to everything, says Novello. Yeah, I don't think Atletico Madrid have been as bad as 3-0, but ultimately that's what it is. It's 3-0. Thanks for all your super chats tonight, by the way. I think I've caught up on all of those. Well, in my opinion, an own goal only gets given when the shot wasn't going in. So his shot probably was on target. So I think he probably will get given it, but you never know in the modern day. It's gone down as Gyökeres' goal on every app I'm looking at. Southampton, I think Will Still, wasn't it? Isn't Will Still 6-2 to PSG? 6-2 to PSG. Isn't Will Still the Championship manager? Be getting the sack. Yeah, it's gone down to Gyökeres on every platform I'm on. 6-2 PSG, and the 6th goal has gone to... What a game. Dembele. Leicester have got one back against Hull. Oh, my God. It's another one. He's done it again. Guess what? It's from a corner. Again, Arsenal from a corner, and Gyökeres turns it in. Another one. I mean, how quick are these goals going in here? It was 0-0 a minute ago. I told you, he will score. He'll score goals. I don't know what it is about why people think Gyökeres is going to be a flop. He won't be a flop. He won't be a flop. Once they start putting the ball in and around there, he'll get goals. I had him down for Golden Boot. I had Arsenal for the league and him for the Golden Boot at the start of the season. I don't think he's going to win the Golden Boot because you've got someone like, you've got the machine that's Erling Haaland, but I do think he'll score 20 goals. And in your first season, 20 goals in all competitions is decent, isn't it? Gabriel with the assist. I mean, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Gabriel is just unbelievable, isn't he? Daniel Sturtridge says... Oh, sorry, I missed this one. Paddy says, can we take 5 minutes to appreciate Senny Le Mans? And Daniel Sturtridge says, worst pundits either on TV or podcasts, etc. There's people I would mention. But if I mention them, it gives them airtime. I'm not talking about anyone on Sky or Lineker or anyone like that. There's ex-player pundits who do podcasts who I just don't know why people listen to them. But no, I don't really want to get into that, to be honest with you. Yeah, fair play to Arsenal, says Ahmed. I mean, it's been devastating. Devastating, this performance. Well, they got what we got? 4 goals in 20 minutes. 57 all the way. Well, 4 goals in 13 minutes. It's a message. It's a dangerous message for Arsenal as well, because the message that they're putting out is basically we can go and produce in the blink of an eye. You know? Newcastle 2-0. Newcastle have made it 2-0 against Jose's Benfica at St James's Park, and it's Harvey Barnes in the 71st minute there. There's so many goals going in, it's hard to see who scored for Inter. Well, they're 3-0 up against Union St. Gilles. Dumfries, Martinez, and Kalinoglu. Oh, good. Good stuff. Novello said, did Gyökeres just score a Coquerez? That goal mighty have just cost him everything. It looked more like it was his thigh, mate. Nick Pope, more goals and assists than Vert, says Pete. And we are Arsenal, we are inevitable, says 1080p. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Well, Arsenal, there still could be 20 minutes here. It could be a hat-trick here for Gyökeres, or maybe not. He's absolutely been clattered there. Another yellow card. Lenormand. I think it's a genuine attempt to win the ball there. He's a bit unlucky to get a yellow, to be fair. La Liga match in Miami just cancelled after protests. Yeah, we were talking about it at half-time, Atora. I think it's good to close the door on it for as long as possible. Not sure how it will last. There's progress now when there once was none. I don't know why I'm singing The Flood by Take That. I don't know why I know that it's called The Flood by Take That. I'm just saying. I feel a bit bad for Atletico Madrid because I don't think it's been a 4-0 game, but especially you wouldn't expect Atletico Madrid to get beat 4-0. Zuta says 4-0, what the hell? I just went for a shit. Inter are 4-0 up now as well. Tazzy said Athletic equals Tottenham in disguise. What were you listening to on the drive back? I can honestly say there was no Take That on my playlist. What did I have on my playlist? I think I played my playlist of songs, random songs I just like. Angel of Harlem, U2, that was definitely on. Motorcycle Emptiness, Mannix, that was definitely on there. Acquiesce, Oasis was definitely there. Trying to think of what songs were on. November Rain, Guns N' Roses. There was a Johnny Cash song. Let Down, Radiohead. And this is a playlist. This is a playlist. There was a song called Wings, which I like. I can't remember who sings it. I'll give you two songs I like that... If These Wings Could Fly by Birdie. That was one. And... And then the other one was... Team by Lorde. Or Lorde. Take That made better music than Oasis, it said, says Tom McBride. I wouldn't go that far. Joe Wright says, I can't wait for the Bayern game. It'll be quality, says Joe. Well, Bayern play PSG in 2 weeks. I think that'll be a great game. And then I think they play Arsenal after that. So that'll be a great game as well. This is why the Champions League is better, isn't it? It is. You know, I said I would reserve judgment on the new format, but I think it is better because we get more games that are better. I know we get more games and I don't like that. That's just money, isn't it? But we do get better quality games. Remember Villa against Bayern Munich last year? That was a cracker. Victor Gyökeres might get new confidence under Graham Potter, says Jimmy Anderson. Look, at the end of the day, you might want to talk about Potter at Sweden, but the biggest reunion is me and Chris Wood. I don't want to do Dyche anymore. It really messes with my throat. I can't wait for the Bayern game. Thank you, says Joe. I've got no water left as well. That was stupid. Don't do that. I'm $130 up. I love betting on Arsenal, says King Ra. Thank you very much, pal. Oh, Chelsea are playing Barcelona soon as well. Let's have a look at these. It's all right. It's all right telling you, giving you samples. Let me give you depth. So, upcoming Champions League fixtures. Obviously, Frankfurt, Liverpool, I'm looking forward to tomorrow with my Bundesliga eyes. And Liverpool in crisis. I think that's going to be a really good game tomorrow night. Real Madrid, Juventus as well. Chelsea playing Ajax. But Eintracht Frankfurt against Liverpool tomorrow night. And then in 2 weeks' time, as I said earlier, Liverpool play Real Madrid and PSG play Bayern on the Tuesday. That's going to be a cracking game. And then on the Wednesday, we've got... Man City against Dortmund. I think that'd be a good one. And then another good cross into the box. Good defending by Atletico. And then the next set of Champions League games, you've got Chelsea, Barcelona, and Arsenal, Bayern, and PSG, Tottenham. So there's some cracking games. And then in the next set of games, you've got Liverpool, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Eintracht Frankfurt, Real Madrid, Man City. You get at least 2 bangers every Champions League games, don't you? PM said, you need to put the cap back on. It can only mean one thing. It can only mean one thing. It's a Dortmund goal. And it's scored by... It's 3-1 against Copenhagen. And it's a goal for Sabit. No, it's a goal for Enmicha. He's got 2. 2 goals for Enmicha. Well done. Well done, that lad. Oh, Portsmouth have got a goal back against Cov. Man City still 2-0 up. Inter are now 4-0 up against Union St. Gilles. It's Espacito. Espacito. That's how we do it down in Puerto Rico. PSV are 4-1 up against Napoli. Have also had a red card. Napoli were 1-0 up in that game. Dan Man, or Man D, has just made it 4-1. And Luca has been sent off. Newcastle 2-0 up, we know. PSG 6-2 up against Leverkusen, we know. Newcastle 3-0 up now in the 82nd minute. The English clubs are on a rampage tonight. Newcastle 3-0 up against Benfica. Gyökeres is about to be subbed off 4-0 up against Atletico Madrid. And Man City winning against Villarreal. The more interesting thing is, none of the English clubs have actually conceded a goal. What do you want to say about that? Harvey Barnes has got 2 goals in the Champions League. Who would have thought we'd be saying that? English clubs are on fire. That 5th place spot could be ours again. We live in shooters they'll never see on screen. Not very pretty, but we sure know how to run things. Saka should have passed. Greedy. He wants a goal, doesn't he? That's Saka when he wants a goal there. Who do you think will win between Arsenal and Bayern? I think it'll be a cracking game. I think Bayern and PSG look like the 2 best teams in the world at the moment. So it'll be a great test for Arsenal to play Bayern. And it'll be a great game to watch when they play PSG. He's missed it. Gallagher. Conor Gallagher. Should have scored. I think it was an offside anyway. Arsenal are the first team to beat 7 Spanish sides in a row, including tonight's game. I'd take him at United in January. Definitely take him on loan. See how it goes. How about Bryan Adams, Mark, in any of the playlist? I tell you what, if you want to, I don't mind a bit of Bryan Adams. Heaven, I like that song. Oh, thinking about... He doesn't sing like that. Oh, thinking about all the younger years. We were young and wild and free. There was nothing wrong with me. I'm making them lyrics up. I like everything I do. I do it for you. I like a lot. Summer of 69. Yeah, I remember that summer. It wasn't even 1969. What else? Bryan Adams does some good songs. Matthew says, fair play to Gyökeres for scoring with his balls. King says, bring me on the channel. I've got ball knowledge. Bets with King. Arsenal defence versus Chelsea 04-05. Who's better? It will be on who concedes the least goals in the Premier League, mate. Because I think you've got to give it to Chelsea based on how many goals did they concede? Like 13 or 14 in a 38-game season. So if they beat that, they beat that. I mean, Arsenal's defence has been incredible for the last 2 or 3 years, really. What's my hair doing there? It looks like I'm covering a bald patch. I've got hair there. Look at that. That's the cap's fault. I don't stop. It's trying to cover a bald patch. You're not bald, mate. What's going on? It's fine. Oh, actually, I think I am. Cover it up again. Oh, what's going on there? That's better. Still looks like I'm going bald. There'll be rumours going around. Oh, no, that's just the track. That's fine. I think, yeah, it's just the track. Look like I've got a bloody comb over. What's going on there? Don't wear caps. Is Saka still playing? So stupid. Well done, Gunners, says Leper. Messiah. Napoli got a goal back. I'm just the goals are flying in at the moment. Dortmund have just got another one as well. Oh, I've got to put the cap on again. PSV are 5-2 up against Napoli, by the way. Napoli got one back with McTominay. 2 goals for McTominay. And then Pepe's just gone up the other end and made it 5-2. So Napoli are going through a Liverpool phase at the moment. And Dortmund are 4-1 up. Loads of goals in the Champions League tonight. It's like the bloody Bundesliga. Silva's just made it 4-1. The former Wolves player. Coventry beat Portsmouth 2-1. Millwall beat Stoke 2-0. Charlton beat Ipswich 3-0. Hull are still 2-1 up against Leicester in the 8th minute of added time. Derby beat Norwich 1-0. Sheffield United beat Blackburn 3-1. Preston are 3-1 up against Southampton. Expect Will Steele to get sacked very soon. And Birmingham beat Preston 1-0 on the road. It's been a busy old night. We do it all again tomorrow. Oh God, that's what happens when you get up at 5 o'clock. Yawning. Probably shouldn't have a bath really. Could fall asleep in the bath. (4-1) Dortmund, yeah. Oh well. I didn't. If you tuned in a bit late, look. Got sent my Dortmund top, signed. I don't know whether I can make out any of the names. Oh, God knows. I mean, really, there's not one name there. P.D. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know any of those. When I was a kid and used to get signatures, it's not P. Diddy. He don't play for Dortmund. P. Diddy's not on my Dortmund shirt. He's ruined it. I mean, what else has he done with it? Why has it got oil on it? I don't want P. Diddy signing my Dortmund shirt. And I don't want oil stains on it. I'm not smelling that. Yeah, I don't even know who the signatures are. It's hard to tell. A goal average of 4-1. Ridiculous. The Champions League format has to change, says Marlow FC. Well, I mean, I suppose that's another way of looking at it, isn't it? Is the quality bad? But to be fair, some of the teams who've been battered, Napoli, you wouldn't want to kick them out. They're 6-2 down to PSV. Benfica, you wouldn't want to kick them out. 3-0 down to Newcastle. Atletico Madrid, you wouldn't want to kick them out. 4-0 down. Leverkusen, you want to kick them out. 6-2 down. The only one you might want to kick out is Union Saint-Gilles, who lost 4-0 to Inter. But lots of goals. Copenhagen have got a goal back against Dortmund. It's 4-2 now. Yes, Dylan, we've spoken about Barcelona, Villarreal in Miami being called off, which is good. I agree with No Namer. Everyone wanted more goals in games, and now we have it, and people are unhappy. Well, look at the fight. Look at the Champions League final last year with PSG. Did Job sign the shirt? Well, what does his signature look like? I'm almost to figure out those signatures on there. I would have to research what people's signature looks like. I mean, the only one. You can definitely see it starts with a P. Looks like D. His would be JB, wouldn't it, I reckon? Well, no, you wouldn't have JB because it could be Jude. I know. I just don't know. It's nice. I think Dortmund kits are normally nice, aren't they? I might. We'll hang it up on Friday. It's got the proper Bundesliga badge on it as well, look. Has defending in football got worse since the 90s, says Luke? Probably. Has it been 50 goals today? Must be a record, says Vibor. Well, it's the final whistle. It's the final whistle. Well done, Arsenal. That's a dominating performance that's going to send shockwaves through football, I think. Well, maybe not shockwaves, but it's still a big performance for them. And don't forget, we're back tomorrow night. I think there'll definitely be goals. Frankfurt like to score goals, and they're not very good at keeping a clean sheet. So I think there'll be loads of goals. Also, Liverpool under pressure as well. They're in a crisis. So tune in for that tomorrow. If you want to get match reaction, Terry's on the Football Terrace. Get over there. Collect some match attacks. You'll figure it out, says Tommy Smith. That is a good idea, actually. That is a good idea. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I think we've got another goal here. It's 7-2 to PSG against Leverkusen. 7-2. What a night of Champions League football. Vitinha has just made it 7-2. Incredible. Incredible. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Love the community. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow night for more Champions League stuff. I'm going to do a quick match reaction on this as well. I'll get that up in the next 10 minutes or so. Speak to you in a bit. Take care.